All right, guys, this is the watch this video for Thursday, May 30th. The SPY. Look at that narrow range, pretty low volume, but really narrow range again. Let me throw this in there for the new faces in the room. Pause the video and read that. It'll get you up to speed on how we operate real quick. And in this narrow range, you think there wasn't a lot of trades, but man, we got some great posts in the room. So I'm going to tip my hat, Terrence. I got two hat tips for you. This ASTS red to green with high of day 618, which actually was the red to green. Pre-market high 643 and the December 27th high of 671. I love that post. I love the way you look to the left on the chart and see the next potential catalysts. And more than all of that, I love the way you post the ideas in the room, right? You spell out the stacked catalysts. So the red to green, which was the high of day break, because it's opening. This is that old school red to green that we used to look for on morning gappers. Well, we still do, but I mean, for a long time, they weren't following through. But in pre-market, I had already been in this at least once on a pullback play that I called in pre-market. And I had typed in the room, I'm paraphrasing, but something like, hey guys, this seems like a pretty big news event, right? So this was my favorite going into the open too. And so this opened at 617. So the red to green basically was through the open, which was 618 was a high of day, which is basically right there, right? A great post by Terrence. And it knocked off all the other catalysts. The 643, the 671, went all the way to 935. Amazing. And like I said before, sometimes we lose people in chat and then other superstars just start emerging. And that's my favorite thing about the teamwork in there. There's always somebody stepping up. NNE, all right? So this was the opening candle right here, went sideways for a while. Well, look who came up with the idea again. Interesting, over 540 with yesterday's close at 549, so only 9 cents above, and yesterday's high, 596, and a little warning to watch the spreads. So over 540 was the idea right there, right? Never looked back. Went all the way to 724. If you're not keeping an eye on Terrence, I'm talking to the rest of you, you should be. He's been a huge asset to the room. And I didn't know how to say this, and I asked him in chat today, and I still didn't get a great answer. But it's hard to tell someone how to pronounce something. But he said it's like John in Romania. So I'm calling him Romanian John, I-O-N-D. Romanian John gave us Lucy, pointed out that it topped at 75 cents and also yesterday at 75 cents. Let's glance at Lucy. So this was the high he was talking about. You can look up here. When I hover over a candle, you'll see the high. So the high, technically 74.64. That's round-upable to 75. And then you see yesterday's high also at 75. So you have the way we define a two-day high break, which happened right there. Whoops, right there. Tiny pullback, but nowhere near where the stop goes, and went all the way to $1.36. So Romanian John D has been making the highlight reels as well. Keep your eyes on him. And then even in after hours, JTR pointed out ONMD, which is a recent high flyer. It's on the watch list, but let me throw after hours on here, and then I will get to the watch list, I promise. All right, so this is a recent high flyer. We traded it the other day, and JTR pointed out the news in after hours, right? And I was able to catch the first pullback in it, which was his idea. I think I actually got filled at 252 or something. I was real close to that pullback and added through the highs. By the way, this topped out at 320. I might as well just show you this real quick because it's on the watch list. The high from the other day, 322. So now we've got a pre-market high of 320. I'm sorry, after hours high of 320, and then a 322 high from the other day. Maybe you can see it on 15-minute candles. Yeah, I'll put the horizontal line there. So certainly one of my top watches tomorrow, assuming it holds up. But I had a nice after hours trade in this also, thanks to JTR. So I can't say enough about the teamwork in the room. That's enough babbling about that. I need to get to the watch list video, which isn't that big. By the way, I didn't even realize I had such a nice day. I didn't even realize the Dow was down over 400 points today. Oh, and one more thing. Let me show you real quick if you didn't hang out in after hours. CRM, which is a big name, Salesforce.com. Let me go to 1 year out here. As I'm talking to you, it's trading at $224 and 40-something cents. So it's trading all the way somewhere about where my cursor is. So they had earnings after hours and just got pimp slapped. So who knows? That may affect that whole space. Just wanted to point it out. Let's go back to Hood, which topped out at 21.21 a little over a week ago, and then today's high 21.14. So certainly over that, maybe it gets going. They had announced a buyback that I think got it popping. ASTS certainly extended, but with that kind of move, they had big news in pre-market. We want to keep that one on our radar for the next week at least, looking for the intraday setups that we teach. NNE has only been trading for a few weeks. It was on the watch list today, and we already talked about Terrence's call on that one. We got a big pop in it today, but still goes back on watch because it's certainly relative strength today and a recent high flyer. Lucy, after the offering, I absolutely thought this was done, and next thing you know, it takes out the high from the day before. So insane action there. I'm a day trader. I got to have something like Lucy on a chart. DKS, excuse me, Dick's Sporting Goods, breaking out today on earnings. That'll be on our radar. Chewy, big breakout on earnings today, big volume. Certainly, we'll be watching that for the next few days for intraday setups. BNAI, nice pop today. CMTL, just an inside day. We already had it on watch for yesterday or for today, but no trades in it. Certainly, that inside day still makes it interesting to me. CVAC, recent mover, pulled back and kind of, I wish this would have had a stronger close, but it's caught my attention again, so it goes back on the radar. I got a frog in my throat. I'm going to take a drink here. Sadly, that was iced tea and nothing fun. LiDAR I thought was probably done after this day, because as far as I know, for this whole rally here, it did not have news, but put it in kind of a narrow range today, but great relative strength. So this goes right back on long watch for tomorrow. LSPD, you put the horizontal line there, just kind of over this area is interesting. Woof, WOOF, had a really nice run here, a couple days lower on declining volume, and then lastly, I already talked about it, but ONMD. So there's the daily on it. I started off the video with it, but it's really the last one on my list. All right, so that's it. We'll add gappers in the pre-market. Maybe catch some trades again. Between 7 a.m. is when I'll start trying to trade the pre-market now that I can with Thinkorswim. So we'll see if there's some pre-market trades, and we'll also work together and build our gap playlist for the day. All right, I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in chat.